Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dinkoy, CEO and founder of The Repositioning Expert. I'm here with another edition of my podcast, The Naked Marketing Show, where we get naked, honest, and authentic about our marketing mistakes. My guest today is the lovely Catherine Cantey. Welcome, Catherine.
Hello, Chala. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be with you.
You have some lovely paintings behind you. Have you done them?
Thank you. They are a mix of my son's artwork and my artwork, and it goes all the way up the wall. So it just
Whoa.
keeps going. So it's kind of like a big hug in the office, you know?
I love it. I like that you pan the camera for us there because I did not get an idea of how big that wall was. Obviously, some artists in the family. That's really nice.
A lot of creativity.
Yeah, I'm really dying to now to introduce what you do for a living. Tell us who you help and what you do.
Thank you for asking. Yes, so I have been out on my own for 2 years and left corporate America. And what I did is I learned that there are more ways to continue to help, not just within the corporate environment. So I've taken 20 years of best practices of businesses being able to remain vital. And there's a lot of basic best practices that we do, and we tailor solutions for our clients based on all the different expertise that we can bring to the table. And it all frames around the business vitality framework and helping people think differently, because what we found is a lot of CEOs can hire people to do the job, but what they're really looking for are people who can think differently, anticipate what's going to be coming down the chute. We need to expand what we're doing and break down silos within organizations. And I've personally witnessed it and been a part of that, and really understanding what the client struggles are and just being able to listen to what the real client needs are, tailoring a solution to fit their needs and helping them accomplish their goals.
Wow. So you were a corporate warrior. Like I left after 18 years, but my goodness, you stuck in for a couple more extra years there. What were you doing when you left? Like what job were you doing?
Yeah, so I was traveling around the country about 60% of the time in banking, and it was a very non-traditional banking career that I had. It afforded me a lot of unique opportunities. It started out developing products and services on the deposit side of the business, and there really wasn't anybody that wanted my job, and I didn't know that going in. And then after I got into the position, they said, "God, thank gosh you showed up," because nobody wanted that job. And by the end of it, we had enough successes that there were quite a few people who wanted the job. And then from there, a gentleman in my network recruited me over to a different style of banking that only works on the lending side for agriculture and rural communities in the United States. And they've been around for over 100 years, one of the best kept secrets. But what I provided was technology and services and huge lines of credit that would go out into these rural communities. So not your traditional, commercial banker, somebody sitting behind a desk making a loan, but really creatively solving what the client struggles are. So it afforded me a lot of opportunities, and I felt like it was time to be able to pay it forward in a new way. And this is where we are now.
So what kind of industries are you focused on in your business?
Industries that are ready for change. And so not everybody's ready for it. I was talking to a gentleman this morning, and a technical college that wants to make some changes compared to where they've always been going in the past. And truly, for that to happen, the folks on the bus have to be ready for it. And I was, I guess, rather honest and just shared, when you're ready to make the change, let me know. But I can't keep showing up and sharing ideas and, cheering everybody on if it's a team of one that wants to help you implement the change. And so we closed it out and just shared that, that was a lot of really good information and a lot to process to figure out, okay, what are some baby steps that we can take from here to begin to implement?
So is the problem that you get called to solve most often a leadership, like, are you doing leadership coaching? Is that what you're doing?
That's a piece of the puzzle, yes. So in order to have a very successful organization, you need to have just a layer upon layer of leaders, not just managers, people who, walk the talk and are able to implement and be able to stand strong during hard times. And so leadership coaching is a piece of the overall business vitality framework. This past year, I really kind of looked inward to realize what is it of all the things that businesses businesses that I've served have been able to remain vital. And what I've learned is it always starts with a very clear mission, very focused mindset at the top, the strategy. They know what they're doing. And from there, you begin to implement, and you can implement through leadership training opportunities. And there's a methodology that we use that has 95% success, that stakeholders around you are going to see you're improving as a leader. And so those are the first two steps of just kind of looking at organizations. They have a good strategy, they have a good mindset, and from there, they're able to implement and create stronger leaders. So after we kind of look inward, we begin to look outward, and I can talk more about that if you'd like.
Yeah, no, that's fascinating. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of pieces there that you would help them with. And I guess as a marketer, I always wonder about, the hook messaging is, what is the most expensive and urgent problem that is the trigger for them to pick up the phone to call you? That to me would be the $1 million question. Have you figured that out?
I think it's different for everyone. And I know nobody wants to hear that, but at the same time, they do want to hear it. They want to hear that they're unique and that their pains and their trials are unique to them. And what I have found, though, is even though it's unique to you, there are some similarities in there and some things that we can find that are tried and true, that have worked year over year, that we can reintroduce because maybe we did something really well for a long time and it just kind of fell away after maybe the marketing strategy got in place and it worked beautifully and the messaging worked beautifully for a good 3 years, which may be a long time today. And as we reposition post-COVID, what's the new marketing strategy? And so we need to kind of reintroduce some of that strategic mindset. Okay, where are we going? Where have we been? And how do we tell that story in an effective way? And so the process was working beautifully for, in this instance, 3 years, but now we know we need to step back and reevaluate. And, just like good old classic movies, there's some good storylines in there that we can all relate to and good processes. There are some really good processes within business that sometimes we just need to revisit in order to break through to get to the next side of success.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So let's talk about marketing. I mean, it's fairly new company, so I imagine that the majority of your clients were from referrals, but outside of referrals, do you do any marketing? How do you get clients through your marketing? Tell all of our listeners and viewers.
Yes. So marketing is a big piece of everything. And what I'm learning, just through years of working within marketing, within the bank and with our clients, and then now out of the bank and doing this myself, is having that consistent message and being able to listen to other people. And what I have found is being able to lead with value is extremely important, at least for me and for my marketing, to be able to provide insights into their world and some best practices, and just to be able to lead with kindness and lead with information that they may be able to find helpful. And sometimes you just need to lead for a while and continue to put information out there. And when they're ready and they're ready to commit, they've seen your consistency, they've seen your message, and when they're ready, they will find you.
So where are you putting out the message? I know you have a podcast.
Yes.
How else are you reaching out?
So I've taken a LinkedIn course probably about 1.5 years ago, and that was really substantial for me. It allowed me to kind of begin to dip my toes in the water as far as communication and messaging and being able to share your story in a very effective way. And, as you know, with marketing, there's lots of processes that are extremely effective, like StoryBrand and some of these different storytelling methods. And this particular LinkedIn class that I took, they were able to kind of break it down into a process, and that repetition helped me a lot. And from there, I'm able to take that same content and be able to share it with folks that are subscribing to my newsletter, and being able just to proactively reach out to people and say, Charla, I saw this XYZ article and I just wanted to be able to share it with you and be able to follow up with a phone call or take them to lunch. And it sounds like good old fashioned marketing, but there's something about a human connection. I think now, today, more than ever, is probably just as valuable as any news, flyer that we can create, that we can put out there. Just having a conversation is so valuable today, and to be able to listen to what other people are saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So this brings us to our big marketing question about our marketing mistakes. Tell us what your biggest, most expensive mistake was to date about your
Yes. So underestimating my network is something that I can openly share with you. My network, it's hard because you want to be able to do it on your own, and you want to be able to make an impact. And I guess maybe sometimes as a female, we don't want to burden someone else and let them know what we're doing, because maybe that's the perception we have, or maybe that's just a Southern perception for a female. But what I'm learning is just being able to share with other people, share stories and experiences. It does open up doors, and to be generous with your network. They are the ones that helped all of us get to where we are today. And they're going to continue to support us and be our cheerleaders going forward. And, there's just a lot of people that helped me get here and want to continue to see me succeed. And I feel the exact same way about them and other people within my network. They're working hard, and I'm working with one lady who wants to go back to college and just kind of redefine her career. And if I can be a resource for her during these next 24 months, I think it would be just, it's exciting for me to be able to help that way. And just to know, to put it out with generosity, it will come full circle. And being present and listening, again, people will come back when they're ready for the help that they need.
That's great. Thank you. So do you have any last parting advice about marketing?
Gosh, marketing, it's so fascinating. There's so many wonderful, podcasts like yours that you can listen to and just keep immersing yourself into this knowledge. It's constantly changing. It's like a living, breathing animal. So I can't encourage you enough to just keep leaning into what it is about marketing that you're curious about. And just good old fashioned, pick up the phone. I dare you to pick up the phone and make 3 phone calls this week of someone within your network, and just ask them, how are they doing? Offer them take them to a cup of coffee or send them an article. Just pay forward with kindness and see where it goes. It may not go anywhere the first time, but if you're consistent with it, I think it's going to pay off for you in the long run.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you. So tell us how we can reach you.
Yes, you can find me. I have a website at CatherineCantey.com. That's with a C. You can also follow me on LinkedIn with my name, Catherine Cantey. And I do have a free resource page on my website at CatherineCantey.com/resources. And you'll see different podcasts and kind of one-page documents of best practices that I've collected over the years.
That sounds great. And oh my gosh, I certainly don't say your name the same way. It's so cute. It's different. I say it in a Canadian way, but I love the Southern way. Thank you so much for being on the show, Catherine.
Thank you, Chala. I really appreciate it.